C2 Wrestling Podcast, CTD Snowden, the boys are back together with plenty to talk about in the wrestling world from John Cena and AJ Styles. Confirmed. Were they trolling? Was this the plan all along? Some reports say yes, some reports say no. We'll dig into that. The final John Cena versus AJ Styles matchup. We had TNA invade NXT. We have been expecting it. We'll get into that. There's been other news that we haven't touched on. There's plenty to talk about. But when you do a power rankings of things to talk about, John Cena and AJ Styles are quite high on a power rankings.
hmm
But they'll always be secondary to how you're doing today, Snowden.
How am I doing today? I am doing all right. Did some grocery shopping before this. Had a bowl of cereal earlier. Gonna make dinner tonight. Looking to talk wrestling like we typically do leading up to Thursdays. There is a bit to get into. We do gotta get right into Styles Cena essentially, but I do want to kind of start by bringing up kind of a gripe I have with WWE right now, and it's related in a way. Um, we're right off the back of WrestlePalooza. That's a little bit of what this whole conversation is going to be about too. We're right off the back of WrestlePalooza. It was not great, not what people expected. No big moments, really. Stephanie wins the title, big moment, sure, but no Brock Cena, crazy thing happened. No Drew win, no Orton heel turn, and I don't think people had high expectations and wanting something to happen for that show. Off the back of WrestlePalooza, we get Monday Night Raw. Fine. Whatever show, nothing too crazy. It's now the build to Crown Jewel. AJ Styles versus John Cena. Again, that's fantastic. Don't get me wrong. That's perfect to add to that card. We're building up to Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins. Stephanie versus whoever wins the women's triple threat on SmackDown. Crown Jewel back to back with WrestlePalooza, which every year could be a different show, sure. But right after Crown Jewel, we got Survivor Series, War Games, so that's going to be another just maybe there's a title match snuck on that card somewhere, but it's not going to be a crazy PLE in terms of really developing storylines, moving stories forward. War Games is usually thrown together, 5v5, let's get people to face people. It's not really developing much. After that, December, John Cena's retirement. Sure, that's big, but it's just a Saturday night's main event. Then we got to wait a whole nother month to the Rumble. We're in like a 3 to 4 month kind of span right now of almost nothingness. The alignment of these PLEs, where they fall in the card of the year, Crown Jewel might fit a lot better a month or two after WrestleMania, not back to back with Survivor Series. It is what it is, but I'm worried. It has me worried. Is Crown Jewel going to hold up? Again, we're going to get into Cena Styles, and that's fantastic. But Cody Seth, great matchup. Don't get me wrong. I can watch those guys wrestle any day. Tiffany versus Stephanie, let's say it's that. Sure, that's fine. The Crown Jewel Championship, who gives a fuck? That thing is worthless. It's not a great concept. I hate that it's in Perth. I mean, I love that Australia is getting a show, but kind of feel bad for Australia that this is the show they're getting, is not some bigger PLE, bigger event. But that's just kind of my gripe. WrestlePalooza was a snooze, and now we're in that rough time of the year for professional wrestling. It's just going to continue for a while, it feels.
So it is football season. So normally
Mhm.
around this time, especially the start of football season, things are a little murky in WWE. They tend to not go all out. I don't want to say not go all out because Punk did return at Survivor Series, but
Mhm.
I have a similar gripe, and I think you'll agree, especially since you're going down this path. I don't necessarily have an issue with Crown Jewel being back to back with Survivor Series. The reason I do have an issue on those specific events and the matches that they have, we've been on record. I'm good on War Games. I don't need
For
it.
now, yeah, bring it back later.
Yeah, I don't need it right now.
Yeah,
Crown Jewel's main matches is what Survivor Series was.
exactly. That's kind of, yeah, that's my gripe really is War Games is different now than Survivor Series used to be, but it still is just a 5-on-5 traditional tag. There's two of them, hour-long matches each. You know.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't want to go into deep parts of the Vince era, but there was a point where it was heavyweight champion versus heavyweight champion, women's champion versus women's champion, tag champs versus tag champs, intercontinental champ, US champ. I know there's only two of them on the Crown Jewel match, on the Crown Jewel show, but it essentially feels like you took what Survivor Series was
Mm.
and you've split it into two shows. And it just doesn't need to be all of this the way it is in this fake phony belt that they do
Yeah.
for the Crown Jewel Championship. It does nothing for me. I don't need it.
Hmm.
I'll never need it. To me, that type of matchup, if you want to do it the main event of WrestleMania, sure. You want to have some crazy matchup where it's champion versus champion, see who stands tall? Fine. Every year at Crown Jewel, no, I don't need this.
Yeah.
That's kind of my gripe.
I would more prefer every year it just be a King of the Ring, Queen of the Ring tournament because at least that gives like some stakes to somebody.
Well, there is that too.
Yeah, well, there wasn't this year, was it? Was it?
Wasn't there?
No, they skipped it this year, didn't they?
No, they did.
Who won
Who
King of
won
the
it?
Ring?
Who did win King of the Ring? Why am I drawing a blank? They had King of the Ring because it was triple threat matches. Oh, Cody won it. He beat
Oh,
Orton.
that's right. Okay, that's right. Yeah, that's right. But that's almost why I forget it because they booked it in fucking 2 weeks this year.
Yeah, and they did
Just do
triple
one
threat
big.
matches for a fucking King of the Ring.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, do one big King of the Ring, Queen of the Ring tournament. At least that helps. Like Cody wasn't champion at the time. That helps make a number one contender or something. Cody beating Seth and winning his second Crown Jewel championship. Whatever, it's an accolade maybe in the grand scheme of his career, but like doesn't do a whole lot for me. I don't need it really at all, honestly, any time of the year. Champion versus champion doesn't do it for me. I think when you don't have that in the yearly schedule too, and then every matter of years you have like a title for title match, it adds a bit more worth to that concept. Even though I'm not a fan of that, I don't really need double champions to that level. You want to hold the tag titles and the IC title by all means, but I don't need anybody holding both world championships nowadays. But again, we're just now like it's going to be when is Crown Jewel? I don't know, October something. I don't even know. Late September. I have
Yeah.
no idea.
It's October.
October. We're going to get.
October 11,
That
20.
sounds right. That sounds right.
It's
11
like
sounds
three
right.
weeks away.
Yeah. Again, they added Cena Styles. We'll get into that in just a moment. But we got these two Crown Jewel championships, and
I think
sure,
it's
they're
19th, October 19th, I think it
okay.
is. Or 26th.
They're gonna
One of
add
those two.
they're gonna add two more matches, maybe three more matches. Sure. So two of the matches are kind of like whatever out of 5 to 6 matches in total. I get it, but why do we even need those two matches then? Like we're getting and the now like the two biggest like technically four because all four competitors, all champions, all the women's world and men's world champions are now in these storylines. So the most important thing going on in wrestling is not going on for 3 to 4 weeks. And then granted, this year might not be Cody versus Team Seth at War Games, but one of them maybe is involved. The Visions may be involved. So then we're going to get another 4 to 5 week build of Seth going into War Games and not really a championship feud directly, and then again no PLE in December. Saturday Night's Main Event isn't really a PLE. It's just a long span of like the schedule could be better.
Yeah, and they do have times where they do well with having wrestlers be in multiple stories. So they could theoretically have Cody Rhodes still feuding with Drew McIntyre while also feuding with Seth Rollins. I don't think they're going to. But one big gripe that we haven't mentioned that we did plenty last time, and we have to mention it again this time. Why are we wasting this?
Mm-hmm.
Seth Rollins has never beat Cody Rhodes. This is like a massive story. The feud that they had for when Cody came back established Cody immediately,
Mm-hmm.
and he gets hurt. And then you have the whole story of Rollins then teaming with Cody to help him defeat Roman and defeat the bloodline. And now you've gotten to this point. You're just going to use it in a 3 week story for a
Mm-hmm.
one on one match for a worthless championship. It's the same gripe that we had with Cody versus Gunther.
Cody versus Orton.
Yeah, Cody versus Orton as well. Granted, they're
There's no
using
titles on the
Cody
line there.
they're
Yeah.
using Cody versus Orton way better than Cody
Cody
Gunther
versus
was.
Gunther. Yes. Yeah.
This is a story that I'm not saying it's going to main event WrestleMania, but it's the level of a main event of
Yeah.
WrestleMania that if you told me they are going to run a program of Cody versus Rollins and tell the story that they're doing in these 3 weeks over a month and a half, 2 months, I would be down with it. But the
Yeah.
way it's being done now, I don't want this. This
I do.
ruins it for me.
I do agree. I do just think though with the Seth Cody story, if Seth wins, 1,000,000% wasted it, ruined it, everything. Cody wins, I guess it's like another tick in the story. Cody's 23-0 against Seth now, you know? So I guess if they do run back the Seth Cody feud at some point, it's just another that time I beat you at Crown Jewel too. You know, like it can add another layer to it. But yeah, like last year they ruined it with Cody Gunther. I think Tiffany actually finds herself weirdly in a spot this year where she can almost use the L. You know, like her losing to Stephanie at Crown Jewel not only
If
helps
she makes it
Steph.
there as champion.
Yeah, I predict she does. I'd be surprised if she didn't. Um, Nia doesn't need to be champion right now, and Jade winning it in a triple threat like that, she might as well just won it at SummerSlam. I don't know, but I just imagine it being Tiffany. You know, Tiffany can take the L to Stephanie, and then that can be the official slow start of Tiffany losing the belt at the right time. Cody can't possibly lose to Seth. I know there's the vision and all that, but some sort of interference, you know, the Usos, somebody, LA Knight, somebody stops it, whatever. The real talk, though, Crown Jewel, to get into it now, is Styles versus Cena, you know, and that is a match that the people have wanted for a long time. You know, the whole Cena run back, the biggest problem, the heel turn. That might even be number two to the biggest problem really being the John Cena schedule. That's a busy guy. Peacemaker is a busy dude. You know, he's got a lot going on in his career. The whole announcement of him coming back delayed a month. He didn't show up in January until the Rumble. Then he doesn't show up till the Chamber, you know, and then he doesn't really show up until Mania. And then he doesn't show up till Backlash, you know, and then at Backlash he gets Orton. Cool. We get one of those nostalgic matches, you know, and then we get a Logan Paul tag team match. And he gets R-Truth. We get the nostalgic CM Punk match. Cool. And then he gets Cody again. The CM Punk match was great. That's probably the best build Cena has had since his return, or his run, I should say. The Cody match at SummerSlam, it's probably his best match in the run. Then he gets Logan. Yeah, the Logan match is great, I think. You know, the
Yeah.
Cody, but there's just too much story to the Cody Cena match for it to not kind of trump the Logan one. But expectation wise is the way I look at the Logan match. Like that blew my expectations more than the Cody match did, perhaps. Then he gets Logan, sure, and then he gets Brock, whatever. There's been 2 to 3 of those nostalgic runs. He ain't getting Edge. He ain't getting RVD, unfortunately. You know, that would have been a great one had they made that happen. But it is time to squeeze in one of those old feuds, run something back, a nostalgic match that the people are asking for. They said they weren't doing it. Cena hit a Styles clash. It was all in honor because he ain't facing Styles. Cena himself said it's not going to happen. But then Cena started tweeting, Styles versus Cena? Make it happen? They did. I'm a little surprised they did. It's official.
It's almost makes me feel the way they booked Cena's retirement tour. Clearly, they had some sort of different plan as soon as he turned heel, that something involving The Rock. Clear as day.
Went wrong. Yes.
It obviously went wrong. Once that happened, I understand, you still got to have him be heel a little bit. The best moments of this Cena retirement tour has strictly been the like fuck it we ball match.
Yeah.
Like we don't need to, and I know we normally would hate on this, but given his schedule, just having him in
Uh-huh.
matches
It's fine.
doesn't
Let
really
alone,
need story like what we're getting with Styles.
yes, yeah.
You just announce the match, you already know the story, and normally I would hate it, but this is the time where it's like I get it, I understand it, and I'm fine with it because it works.
Yeah, given his schedule, given the circumstance of what it is, it's the greatest of all times retirement year announced ahead of time. This is the opportunity to just have this guy ball out, and they're not needing to be a full blown feud or storyline to every match. That is the story, is that it's fucking John Cena versus AJ Styles one last time. It's happening. The fans are begging for it, you know. Again, Cena's schedule is crazy, and every match he has, you risk an injury or something like that too. Like Cena's in incredible shape, but he's an older dude. You know, he even says he's retiring because he can't do it like that anymore. So if you had him wrestle a full time schedule, it might not have worked out that well. But hindsight being 2020, I wish more of those Raw and SmackDown appearances were just matches. You know, Cena open challenges. Give me a random fucking Carmelo match or whatever. Who cares at this point? You know, it would have been nice to see those things. I'm looking very forward to Cena Styles, especially on the fact that that wasn't going to happen. But that is leading us up to two more Raws, Survivor Series, Saturday Night's main event. Who else does he get? You know, there's some rumors that Dom is in the mix there somewhere. I don't need Cena winning the IC title. I think that's like corny, to be honest. I just don't need it. That doesn't do it for me. Him versus Dom does it for me. Can that happen on a Raw? Sure. I don't know if that's the retirement match, though. You know, I'm glad they're putting in Styles, but it makes me think they're squeezing this in because they know what they're doing already. I think they know exactly who's going to be the John Cena retirer, I should say. I got a little bit of an idea, I feel like, and I think it's Gunther for sure. I'm pretty locked in on it being Gunther right now. Um, and I think the overall story is a long-term story for Gunther where he's going to shortly come back sooner rather than later. And he's going to ultimately be the one to retire John Cena. We've been long time saying now that Sami Zayn wins the Rumble. But I'm really starting to think Gunther's going to win that Rumble. It's looking like Cody Gunther at WrestleMania. Gunther walks out champion. And then Gunther also retires Brock at SummerSlam. Gunther retires Goldberg, John Cena, and Brock Lesnar all within a year. You know, that's how you make somebody, right?
So I don't know about the Cody Gunther part just yet, just because it feels like we're gonna get Cody Orton
It
first.
does. It does, yes.
So I don't know if that plays out for Mania or whatnot. I think Gunther is the last. I mean, we said that
A while ago.
a while ago.
Yeah.
I do have to mention our good buddy, friend of the podcast, advocate of C2 Wrestling, Dave Meltzer. I promise he is. Uh, his reporting, and he's like, "Yeah, you know, John, this is a match that John wants, or seems that he wants, and he said that he wanted this match, and that's why they're doing it." It's like, wow, just checking
See,
every box of the
that's incredible.
possibilities, you
That's
know, whatever the fuck he said.
My weather guy reported today that the sky is blue.
I'm sure we are going to get plenty of that when it comes to his final match, because now you mentioned it, 4 dates after Crown Jewel. You have two Raws, you have a Survivor Series, and you have the final date of Saturday Night's Main Event. What's interesting is it feels like there should be like one more where he
There's
comes
nothing
out.
between Survivor Series and Saturday Night's main event. I know.
Well, actually, that I don't mind. I feel like there should be something after Saturday Night's Main Event for his like goodbye speech,
Oh,
but maybe that's
I think there will be, and they just haven't said that
yeah,
for
or
because he
maybe
even
it's
said
the
in the
Mania Hall of
beginning.
Fame.
But didn't he even say in the beginning of this retirement tour, like after I retire, I'm going to come out in a suit, you know,
Yes,
like so. I do think he 100%. He actually might get the Hall of Fame induction. To be honest, that might be what they're going for this year.
might be why they're
Uh,
going back to Vegas.
yeah, it might be why they're going back to Vegas. Yeah. Fucking thank God he doesn't get the Hall of Fame during the Saudi year. But
Well, don't speak for
not
me.
yet. Yeah, not yet. Also, Stephanie's the headliner, so I don't know. Cena kind of trumps Stephanie. Maybe they do hold off on Cena.
Is she the headliner?
It's a pretty big name to enter the Hall of Fame, right?
It is a huge name, but like they very well could just do like four people into the Hall of Fame and have it be
Which they
stacked.
should. The Hall of Fame should be minimal at this point. It should be like 3 to 4 people a year. It doesn't need to be fucking 10 people like it has at points. But his dates are light. He's not a lot left. I kind of hate that there's nothing in between Survivor Series and his final match because we're going to get a similar build like we did for Brock Cena at WrestlePalooza, where no, they're not showing up on TV together. They're not face to face. If there's one match in this entire retirement tour that should have some sort of, I don't know, worth feud rivalry, it should be the retirement match: John Cena versus Gunther versus Dom versus Styles, whoever it may be. John Cena versus Gunther is the match, Gunther's our guy. I just don't know if I need Gunther building that entire match on his own. We fucking love Gunther. He could do it, but I don't know if that holds up to me. The John Cena Brock match having zero build, let alone zero build, it was really Brock Lesnar showing up. I mean, I guess Cena did show up, don't get me wrong, but he didn't show up with Brock. They didn't go face to face. Brock was having segments with R-Truth in between this build. Maybe that's part of why the match sucked too. I do expect Cena to show out in that final match, especially considering it's the final match. Like you said, F it, we ballin' type matches. Had him with Cody, had it with Logan. Punk match was great. Brock match was a bit of a fall off. I expect Cena Styles, Crown Jewel, October 11th, 19th, whatever it is, to be a fuck it, we ballin' match. But I hope the final match is too. Dom Mysterio, Brock Lesnar, I don't think it's run back at this point. We were pretty adamant that it does, but thankfully that doesn't look like it's on the horizon. Gunther, Braun Breaker. Who do you squeeze in there outside of those names? There's some dream matches, I guess. Again, like a Carmelo and a Braun are kind of dream matches. I don't expect Carmelo to happen, unfortunately. But hell, this might be a bold take, but I would even love to see John Cena run like an open challenge and a Carmelo answer it, or a really bold name, and Obafemi answers it. You get your NXT champion popping up on SmackDown, answers the open challenge to John Cena, which, hell, he could be the guy to answer the Sami Zayn open challenge. Who knows? I don't think Sami Zayn's going to be holding that title forever. I love the run of open challenges they got going on there, but, we just find ourselves in a little bit of a pickle with John Cena. Retirement tour announced ahead of time is tough. Seen a lot of people already discussing, let's extend it. Let's put him till WrestleMania. I would love it. I think he should. I definitely don't think he's gonna. I don't think Cena's that guy. I think he's stubborn in that sense. And I think that's the right way to be stubborn, is that when he says he's done, he's done. Also, again, busiest guy in the world. Probably has a lot to do with his schedule. Maybe he's already got things planned, January through whenever, movies, this, that, whatever. I believe I even seen in an interview just the other day that he's got he's already on day something, whatever. I don't know. And then he's got 46 more days until his next day off, I guess, whatever it might be. The guy is Hollywood now. He's Hollywood John Cena, Hollywood Hulk Hogan, Hollywood John Cena. And I love it. I do think it's great for John. I think he's making the right call to retire and move along his career. The guy is a fantastic actor. Peacemaker is incredible. If you haven't checked it out, download HBO Max, whatever they're calling it this week. Download it and watch Peacemaker. But it's tough. The whole year of retirement, if I could have had it any which way, Cena would have wrestled 20 more matches. We would have got the Carmelo matches, the Brons, the Bronsons, the Gunthers, the Obas, Dom, Styles. There's so many dream matches on the John Cena billboard. There could have been a couple tag matches in there. I don't know, just nostalgic matches. I know Rey Mysterio's hurt, but a Rey Mysterio run back could have been great. Hell, that would have been great for the championship, considering John Cena won the championship off Rey Mysterio in maybe one of the worst championship wins of all time. Rey Mysterio should have left that Raw WWE champion, but I do think that's potentially the story. Gunther retires Cena. Gunther wins the Rumble. Maybe it's not Gunther Cody. I don't think Gunther gets Seth either, though. But if it's not Gunther, it's Sammy. Those are my top two. I don't even have a three on who wins the Rumble. It's Sammy or Gunther. The Sammy storyline makes sense. Again, they're testing the waters with him being U.S. champ. He goes on to lose that title and then goes on to win the Rumble, gets his big moment out in Saudi. If there's anybody to win a Saudi Rumble, it's Sami Zayn. He wins that Rumble. He gets Seth at WrestleMania. He gets Cody at WrestleMania. I don't know if he gets Cody either. Cody, Chris said it, you said it, or you, it is really kind of built to be Orton. I don't know if they're going to drag it out that far, but they didn't have Orton turn on Cody at WrestlePalooza. It hasn't happened yet. So November, December, January, February, March, April, 5, 6 months out, I could see them doing the Orton turn as we just inch closer and closer to the Rumble, and that ultimately being the big match at WrestleMania. But we just kind of talked about it. King of the Ring. They wasted one leg of the Cody Orton feud, and I guess it's in a way another tick to the potential rivalry of like, I already beat you once. I did it at fucking Crown Jewel or whatever. I can do it again. But it would have been so much better just to see that fresh.
Okay, rare point in C2 where we have an edit. We normally don't. We freestyle these things. Snowden tried to drag as long as he could, but I had to step away. Our mascot, Tommy Boy, hasn't been feeling too well the last few days. He got taken to the vet. He's getting better. Uh, you know, Appreciate any concern someone might have, but he wasn't doing too well just about 2 minutes ago, so I had to step away, make sure my boy was good. Quick call. Should be all fine now. I don't know if you guys saw earlier, actually, it was our debut in video form of Richie Puffs. He's passing around. So I got to keep an ear open, make sure nothing crazy happens. Snowden, I'm not gonna lie,
Hmm.
I could hear my headphones. I could hear you going.
Yeah.
I don't know where you left off.
I don't know where I left off either. So that's kind of the problem here is I rambled a bit about just the John Cena retirement tour, Gunther potentially closing it out, potential opponents, just what I wanted out of the Cena retirement tour. Gunther again. I honestly, I have no fucking idea. No idea.
I'm gonna
We're pretty much,
leave.
yeah, we're starting it
Yeah,
fresh.
yeah. I'm gonna
Leave it,
leave a
leave it
ton
all.
of it in
Yeah.
so people can enjoy it. They'll see the panic in my face when I rush to go check on my boy, make sure
I
he's all
definitely
right.
like, I didn't want to get into a new topic, of course, because you weren't here, but I got to a point where I was like, all right, like, I got nothing else to say.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
there's only so much you can say at some point with
Yeah.
that. You do. It is funny though, like when you're in that scenario. I've mentioned this. I used to do a wrestling radio show. You like then understand some of the like bigger names or whatever who do like mainly shows by themselves or do like YouTube videos by themselves, whatever, and they repeat the same point like 4 times in like a 5 sentence
Mhm.
speech.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, you're doing the classic like this is my essay and I'm gonna double line space this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna add a little extra meat here. I'm gonna make the periods be half a size bigger so the
Yeah.
text shifts like
White
we've
font
all
at the end of the essay to hit that word count,
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. We've all been there, we all know what it's like. But on the topic of Cena and Styles,
Hmm.
we talked a ton about the retirement tour. I want to talk specifically about that matchup
Hmm.
the one last time. Because to me, Styles is my guy. That's my favorite of all time. I love Cena.
Ready to
Yeah. That's my guy. When he signed to WWE, that was like
groundbreaking.
like it truly is like a defining moment in my life, that time period. The Cena Styles feud is means something to me, man. Like you fucking believe it. There is a part of me that is upset that we're not getting just one face-to-face promo of the two of them. But at the same time, I was thinking about it. I'm watching ESPN's little edit that they put up, and it's like, oh man, this got me hyped for this matchup. I'm having flashbacks of the beat up John Cena and thinking about Styles beating him at SummerSlam, all these things. And I'm like, I wish we could get one last promo. And then I'm like, for what? What do they
Yeah,
really
but
need to say in that promo that is going to enhance anything, change anything?
mhm.
Because they're just facing to face. It's just one last time. I mean, look, if you want to have the May the Better Man win handshake, Fine, you could just fucking do that right before the match starts when they're talking without even a mic. There's no prize at the end of this, and this is literally like we're playing the hits, kind of what they should have been doing for the last few months.
Hmm.
I'm fine that we're actually not getting that promo, whatever. It was more needed for Cena Brock than it
Oh
is
yeah.
for Cena Styles.
Yeah, I would still like it, but it's the feud he's had so far that it's the least needed, especially because it is just the way it's set up. It wasn't supposed to happen. Booked over Twitter, essentially. Baby first versus baby face. Considering Styles is kind of a baby face, a little bit of a tweener sometimes, but I would even like that, like, that one face to face on a Raw of like, your career is winding down and so is mine, but I'm not done yet. Like, I'm here to get that big win over John Cena, go on to do something else. And that leads me just to pop the immediate question. Who do you have win?
It's got to be Cena, right?
I mean, he's off the back of the Brock loss. Like, Cena losing to Brock, loses to AJ. Fuck it. Maybe he loses some screwy finish to Dom on Raw, and he finds himself in that retirement match. Like, I can't do it anymore. Like, I don't have it. But then he wins, wins the retirement match, and he could do it. It depends on what the storyline is. I personally think Gunther undoubtedly should win if that's the retirement match, of course. But depends on the route they're going. Styles isn't far off from retiring himself too. Like, I would like to see Styles get a couple more big wins in there, but it's probably John Cena. John
I
Cena
think
probably
you
gets the
have
win.
Cena win. Then honestly, Cena can beat Dom.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
like it, and they
Dom doesn't
can,
need to win that match.
of
Nah.
course not. And then look, who else does he face? I'm not sure. I would love for Gunther to be the last match. I could see a Braun Breaker match
Hmm.
being in there, something along those lines.
See, the Braun Breaker being the last one though, like, it almost doesn't fit to me with Braun Breaker kind of being like the lackey to Seth. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
It's a weird like timeline.
for sure. But for Cena's last match, like it's got to be someone that he loses to that I have the same feeling after he faced Cody.
Hmm.
Like I need that to be the cap on Cena's career. If that's the case, he's got to win some of these last few before he gets into that because if he just goes on a 5 match losing streak or whatever and then wins his last one, like what are you doing for that
Yeah.
person that his final match is against? You know what I mean? Like I think it's, we're tipping picks here for Crown Jewel, but I'm leaning that Cena's going to be the one to win.
Hmm.
And I would have to imagine it's one where there's no way Styles is going to be like upset that he's losing to John Cena in their
For
last
sure.
matchup.
Yeah. For sure. And it doesn't like hurt Styles in any way either. It's not like Styles loses that
100%.
match and then can't go win the IC title the next night or something. Um, it's going to be a great match. Again, these last few Cena matches, maybe not the Brock one, but we're ball and tight matches. Cena's given all he's got left to get these matches in. I expect this to be a great match. It could be the best Cena match in the run. Again, the Cody SummerSlam match, the Logan match, those are top two. There's, and I love CM Punk, obviously, don't get me wrong, but there's no way this isn't going to be number three in that list. It just has to be. Their matches alone, that Cena Styles SummerSlam match is one of my all-time favorite matches. That is up there undoubtedly. And it's 10 years in the making, a long time ago, right? 10 plus years in the making almost.
Yeah.
Um, Crown Jewel, again, it doesn't need a build. I'm more upset of whatever, and this is kind of what I rambled about while you were gone. I'm more upset about the final match not getting any build. This is definitely what I rambled about. I'm kind of recalling now as we're getting into it. The Brock Cena match, WrestlePalooza, was a stinker of a match. It was a stinker of a build. The SummerSlam moment is great. Brock doesn't show up for 2 months, and then when he is showing up, him and Cena are on counter pro acting shows. It's dumb. It's silly. I get their schedules are tight. I mean, Brock's schedule not really. He just doesn't fucking want to go anywhere. Probably Cena's schedule is tight, but not having them like face to face or somebody attacks somebody or something, whatever, made it shit. You know, I love Gunther. You love Gunther. I said this when I rambled before. Gunther can build that feud on his own, I'm sure. But how do you not have Cena Gunther in the ring on a Monday Night Raw? How do you not have Cena in the ring after Survivor Series on a Monday Night Raw or something? And that's where Gunther comes out and issues the challenge or whatever it is. You got to have something in between there. I don't need John Cena via satellite. You know, maybe there's a surprise pop up. I know there's only so many dates left, and post the retirement, like we said, he'll show up in a suit, whatever. But maybe there's one, at least one surprise. John Cena made it out to the show tonight.
So I'll flip the question to you.
Mhm.
If it's not some guy they're looking to for sure give him that last win or give him that last payoff to someone else, them
Yeah,
getting the win.
yeah, the
A
road.
Gunther, a Dom, a Braun Breaker, an up and coming guy. And they're looking at it as we're just going to make the matchup that we want to make. It'll essentially sell itself. Am I crazy to say that makes me think this isn't going to happen? But if that were the route, it would have to just be like Roman Reigns, right?
Yeah, I mean, another guy we haven't mentioned, but unfortunately he's not in the mix right now. Kevin Owens can't get the run, unfortunately.
Yeah.
That's another like would have loved to see it. Um, it would have to be Roman. Uh, you know, Gunther's my number one. I
Of
want Gunther.
course.
I would pay out of pocket for it to be Gunther. If it's not going to be Gunther, I fucking love Braun Breaker. It's a great one. I just don't think like timeline and story wise that lines up as much. Um, Whoever retires John Cena is the next guy. And Braun Breaker is one of the next big guys, the pillar of the company, whatever. But Braun Breaker isn't winning the Rumble and then going on to Mania and whatever. Gunther might not even win the Rumble, but Gunther at least has the world titles and all that. Um, who else but Roman? You know, it be Seth? Maybe Seth, but that's a tier under
The
Roman.
Rock.
Yeah, I mean, don't say no to that. I would love John Cena being like, "Hey, you fucked up my run. Now fight me in
Yeah.
my retirement match." Um, there's nobody else. Again, there's some dream matches. And when I was rambling, I did even say like I would have loved in hindsight for Cena to have 20 different matches. Like I said to you, maybe he fucking throws out an open challenge and gets a Carmelo. Hell, an open challenge and Oba Femi picks up the answer. Like that would have been great to see. Gunther, Braun Breaker, Roman. I would it would blow my mind if it's anyone else.
Yeah, you've already done the Orton match. You're not going to do that again. You've already done Brock. You already did Punk. You obviously can't do Edge.
Yeah, it ain't Logan. You can't do RVD.
Yeah.
There's and
Like,
also too, like when it comes to the
and it's not
hits,
Styles if they're doing Styles here.
yeah, they're running back three of the hits with Punk, Orton, and Styles. The other hits would have been Owens, Edge, RVD, right? Like those are the other like notable Cena, JBL, but JBL ain't getting in the fucking ring.
Yeah,
I
like
don't think that's
JBL's not getting in the ring, and
yeah, I don't think
Triple
that's
H
one
isn't getting in the ring.
exactly. Everybody else is out of the question for injury, retirement, other companies, whatever it may be. Roman Reigns is the other like hit, right?
Batista.
Oh, but
Yeah,
that's a
yeah.
good reference too. Yeah, that's a good reference too. But that's the other hit. Another like there's other ones you could have run back. I did say this too when I rambled. Like it would have been cool to see when he was champion. It also injured, but if they would have ran back Rey Mysterio, that would have been a
Yeah.
cool run back. I don't think that would have headlined a PLE in all honesty. But Roman Reigns is the last hit, but Roman Reigns doesn't need it.
I almost, I don't think this will happen, but I almost wish that we get Roman Cena at Survivor Series.
Um, I'd be cool with it. I'm not honestly like I fucking love Roman, but like I'm not dying for the Roman Cena match like I am even just a couple other like not as big Cena matches.
Well, I mean,
I
look,
would rather
he's
if
got 4 dates left,
yes.
and we know
Let's
we're
say
getting
there's a
Cena
match.
Styles.
Let's say he has four matches, right?
Yeah,
There's a match on every event.
and it goes
Um,
it goes Raw, Survivor Series, Saturday Night's main event, the final one.
okay. Dom on Raw, right? Fuck it, why not? The other Raw, I don't know. I don't know. It's a tough one to be honest. Survivor Series, I'll get back to the Raw, but Survivor Series, this might be a hot take, but I kind of want him in War Games. Like that's almost like some 2K type shit. If you get Cena fucking teaming up with whoever against whoever, uh, And then
Well,
after that, it's Gunther.
well, you could if he's in War Games, you are like kind of killing two birds with one stone. Have Roman in the match, Braun Breaker in the match. There you
well,
go.
that's
Like
what
the
I mean. Like,
combination.
what if it was the Vision, whoever you pair with the Vision, off the fucking Vision, two other guys versus uh LA Knight, CM Punk, Jey Uso, John Cena, another big
Jimmy
babyface, Jimmy, Cody Rhodes. I don't know. You could fucking stack the babyface team to all hell.
or Roman.
Oh yeah, Roman, of course. That's literally the name like I had in mind going
Yeah,
into it.
yeah.
Um, you stack that babyface team, that's 2K shit versus ultra heels. Maybe Gunther joins the Vision for that match or something too. And I mean, I don't want them to even touch until the retirement match, to be fair. But I think that would just be cool to see. There's some moments in there. I think there's some highlight things, but it's tough to deny wanting just a one-on-one match. Survivor Series, Cena goes one-on-one. Why would it be Roman though? Like, what's
Here's how I lay it out.
yeah.
If he's got four matches, if each show, each appearance is a match,
Hmm.
he's got five left. Say they're all singles matches. He's not in War
Yeah.
Games. Nothing. You obviously it's Cena Styles at Crown Jewel.
Yeah.
Then I'm doing Cena Dom on Raw, one off. Give him that match, whatever. Then I'm announcing John Cena versus Roman Reigns for Survivor Series. And I'm getting Braun Breaker confronting Cena and saying, that was my match. I had him next.
Hmm.
I want you tonight now.
Yeah.
Braun Breaker, Cena on Raw. You get the Cena Roman match at Survivor Series. Cena Gunther for his retirement match. That's how, if it was just singles matches,
Yeah.
I can choose from the logistic standpoint who is logical to face Cena wrestling right now. That's probably how I would lay it out.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty close to it, probably. I Survivor Series is a little up in the air, but I can see it happening in that fashion. Um, that's how I would do it too, I guess. Feel a little bad for Bronson Reed. I want a Bronson Reed John Cena match just cause now. But
I
Braun
mean, me too. I
Breakers,
fucking love Bronson Reed.
yeah,
That's fine by
love
me.
Bronson Reed. But yeah, that's pretty accurate to how it should happen. I really do hope there's one surprise pop up between Survivor Series and Saturday Night's main event. I don't know the gap in between that. Survivor Series is obviously late November, mid
It's
December.
it's only like two and a half weeks, maybe,
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I figure
maybe
it's like
3 weeks.
maybe
It's
three
it's
weeks
not
in
that
total.
crazy.
Yeah, yeah. But I still like. I think one face to face between Cena and whoever retires him prior would help set that match in stone. But if we don't get it, we don't get it. That's the finality of this, I guess, is that just Gunther's got to be the guy.
Before we move on to put a bow on this for Cena's final match, you and I aren't Goldberg guys. I know Goldberg had his gripes about his retirement match. You can make arguments on things they did well, things they did wrong. I hope they take from how that retirement show went and they know maybe one, max two other matches on that show. And that show is literally laid out. You could tell me it's the only match.
Yeah.
That show should be laid out interviews, promo packages, old video packages, taking you through the years of his career, whatever.
Hmm.
Batista joins via satellite for 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
The sit down when they do the fucking. Remember back in the day when they used to do video packages for matches, and they would interview like everyone on the roster, and they would
Yeah.
be like when they did Cena Rock, and it's like HBK is talking about how big the match is, and Jericho is mentioning who needs to win, and Big Show, whatever. You're doing that, and it's guys talking about Cena's career, Cena's final match, whatever, and it all leads up so you have plenty of time
Hmm.
because Cena's entrance alone, we're talking 10 minutes probably.
Well, yeah. I mean, my biggest gripe is honestly that it's a Saturday Night's main event. I really wish they would have just like made up a PLE for December this year because you have so much more freedom. 2 hour show. Maybe they make it 3 hours. Maybe they could swing a 3 hour because you got to give the entirety from the moment Cena walks out to the end of that show an hour. And the first hour is going to be riddled with commercials too. You know,
Is it? It's on NBC
it's
still,
still
right?
NBC. This is the
Okay.
fourth of the year. So I think next year it might be all Peacock or wherever.
Yeah.
I don't fucking ESPN. I don't fucking know anymore. Fuck ESPN. But that first hour is going to be like you said, video packages, commercials out the ass, so they don't have to run commercials at the end. I do, and listen, Gunther was bitching a little bit how it went down. Uh,
Goldberg was bench. No,
Goldberg, sorry. Gunther is the greatest. Sorry.
if
Uh,
he bitched,
it's rightfully
he's right.
so.
He's
Yeah.
correct.
It's just yeah, exactly. Goldberg was bitching, and listen, I get it. Goldberg, you got the retirement match. You got to kind of be happy in that sense, but also like production value, whatever it was. Somebody fucked up somewhere, and Goldberg like didn't get that last little moment. Like I kind of get it in a way, like that does just suck a little bit. Um, you would want your retirement to go perfectly too, like that's just kind of the way I look at it. They can not fuck that up for John Cena. The match has to go again from the moment he walks out to the moment it ends, like an hour. The pinfall has to be at like 9:50 if it ends at 10 o'clock. Because you got to make sure you have a clean few minutes of Cena getting up, looking around to the crowd, shaking some hands, kissing some babies, getting the mic, cutting his final promo, and the send off, the final John Cena send off. You can't possibly have that Paul Levesque Lee Fitting thing pop up as John Cena's got the mic in hand.
I'll tell you what. I'm gonna be sobbing, dude. I'm gonna be, and if it's Gunther that retires, I mean, it's half tears of joy for my boy, half tears of sadness because my childhood, it's done.
It feels like we're retiring.
It
Like,
truly does. Like,
yeah.
we have talked about this before on this channel and together. Like, we are 28 years old.
Mhm.
You start like really grasping things at 6 or 7.
Yeah.
That puts us at 2004,
When did
2003,
John Cena
2004.
debut?
We don't know life without John Cena.
Yep. Yep. John Cena really is like just the pinnacle of wrestling. It really is. I got so many friends and stuff too that couldn't tell you a fucking thing about pro wrestling, but they know John Cena. It's unreal, unfathomable. I really hope they again. Gunther is the fucking greatest. I want them to double down with Gunther. Gunther was so good in the Goldberg build. I don't want Gunther to hold back. I want him to come out being like, "No, I'm retiring this fucking bitch."
Yeah.
He's going to Hollywood because of me.
Yeah.
And I just want Gunther to be soaking in it. The cheers are going to be so loud for Cena. You got to get somebody to counteract those cheers with the right booze, and it's Gunther. Gunther can make that crowd go crazy.
I also want Gunther to put him to sleep.
Yeah, tap him out. Yeah.
No, he doesn't tap because Cena, I don't want Cena to tap in his final
Yeah,
match.
yeah, 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 yeah.
I want Gunther to choke John Cena out
A little rear
so
naked.
he can quickly get out of the ring after that, walk up the ramp. You give John plenty of time to gather his wits, come back together. The standing ovation itself, like
Hmm.
literally I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about
Yeah,
it. Like it is
like
it genuinely, look, we're WWE guys. Shout out
oh yeah.
Tyrese Halliburton. We are WWE
Shout
guys.
out Tyrese Halliburton.
We oftentimes we say what we like and we say what we don't like. Odds are under Triple H, there's been a lot more that we've liked compared to not liked. We don't like something. I mean, beginning of this fucking podcast, we
Was a
mentioned
gripe,
plenty.
big gripe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one is so astronomically big and it's so easy to do, but it's so easy to fuck up
Yeah.
that if
Yeah.
they do, this is the one that can never be forgiven.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, can never be forgiven. I'll pretend I didn't see that. I guess I don't know what happened in your
A
little.
car horn just
Yeah.
fucking off loud as fuck. As soon as I said never be forgiven, it's like
Yeah,
someone heard me. I
yeah,
was like,
yeah,
hell
yeah,
yeah. I was
yeah.
like, the fuck?
It can never be forgiven. Listen, they've fucked some things up in the past. There's been some bad decisions, bad moments. There's been great moments. This would be irredeemable if you fuck up the John Cena retirement tour, the John Cena retirement match, I should say. Again, Gunther's going to be so good in it. We're already sitting here like it's settled on it being Gunther because it kind of is. I want Gunther to be disrespectful as a fuck. Bring in those boos. Hell, during that match, I want Cena to get the upper hand, but I want, Gunther goes out of the ring. He's going under the apron to grab something, but he actually just grabs a Peacemaker helmet, puts it on, gets the crowd going wild. I don't know. I want Gunther to be just as Gunther as he's been in these last couple feuds he's had. There's no reason to change anything Gunther. There's no reason to change anything Cena. My biggest worry is the production of the show itself. Saturday night's main event. Again, you said it, 3 matches at max. It could be the only match on the card. That it can be John Cena's Saturday night's main event. I don't care. Also, too, what do you even put on that card that isn't immediately overshadowed? It
Yeah.
can be anything, and it doesn't really matter. Nobody on Monday Night Raw the next night is going to be talking about no shade on whoever's champion, but the IC title match or the women's title match or this or that. Even if you put some high stake match on there, the only thing you can do, in my opinion, would be like John Cena related things, an R-Truth fucking moment or something. Honestly, like as silly as it might be, it's
Kurt
almost got
Angle doing
Burt
some
Angle.
shit.
Yeah, like it's almost got to be affiliated to John Cena.
They should promote it. Remember when Vince had Raw featuring Brock Lesnar or whatever the fuck they did?
Yeah,
Should
yeah,
literally
starring
be,
Brock Lesnar.
yeah, it should literally be fucking Saturday Night's Main Event starring John Cena. Like
Yeah.
that's the way to do it. I do want to talk about on NXT, we got the TNA invasion. I know this is a bit of a hard turn, but I'm sure you've talked plenty about the John Cena retirement tour, considering that I stepped away for like 5 minutes and you just had to keep
Ramble
on go.
about
You
it.
just had to keep
It's gonna
on
be
going.
it's gonna be funny to watch back.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to it. The TNA invasion. We've been talking about this. I mean, the second episode of our podcast. This is one of our first ever videos. We're booking TNA versus NXT off the fucking jump, and that's over a year ago.
Almost like we thought of it.
Literally. Now, it is kind of funny because you see like the people invading, and it's like so many people that were in WWE. It's like Matt Cardona, Eric Young, uh, the Iconics. Like
Yep.
you just, so many people. I love it. I know there's going to be people that are kind of split on it, whatever. It seemed like most of the reaction on social media was pretty positive. Not that that's the end all be all. To me, we talk about predictability. When done right, it can still be good. We knew the TNA invasion was coming at some point. And this is just really the beginning of it all. Like, this isn't like the climax of the story.
Mhm.
This isn't the end of the story. That moment where it's now they're kind of all rallying together, and we're going to get a nice mix of now the heels realize like Trick Williams is a terrible face of TNA and he's defending it with NXT guys, and he's not even bringing it back to us. We're going to get Joe Hendry. They're going to beat the fucking brakes off of Joe Hendry at some point because he's the only one, even though he's the former TNA champion. He's not waving the flag like the others are.
Yep.
He's he's
That's gonna
yucking
be
it
how
up with Hank
he's
and Tank.
that's gonna be how he's outed from TNA and officially joins NXT,
One
perhaps,
million
yeah.
percent. Like they're going to vilify him where when he shows up on TNA, he might get a little bit of booed because people are
Mhm.
like, no, you're not with us anymore.
No loyalty.
I love it. And look, when they announced Santana versus Trick Williams, it felt kind of early because Bound for
Mhm.
Glory being in October, when they announced it, felt like it was still, we knew that was going to be the match, but it felt like it was still kind of far away to make that announcement. Now it's like they do the invasion now. They're going to have a few weeks of like straight up war between NXT and TNA. I'm sure NXT will return the favor in some aspect. Now it really feels Like, oh man, Santana's got to win this match. Now,
Has to.
now the roster's behind him. Now it's us versus them. Now it's a true war. TNA's had enough. We need to get our title back. I was going to be invested in Bound for Glory no matter what.
Yeah.
But that's got me even more juice. The way they did it, and then at the same time, having this great moment, having this invasion, emphasizing the issues with Trick Williams and TNA, but not let it overshadow your biggest story at the same time with Ricky Starks, Ricky Saints going for the NXT championship, Obafemi grabbing it. They didn't do the Brock Roman tug of war, thankfully.
Thank God.
Saints let it go. But that moment, while all the anarchy is going on behind them, I'm watching that and I'm like, damn. People who don't watch NXT will have an opinion on NXT like they do watch it. This show is so fucking good
Yeah.
so often.
It is, and like, listen, there's again, we're critical where we have to be critical when we have to be or want to be. We're not Dark State fans. There's some things that I may not like or enjoy about NXT, but NXT's been great. TNA has been great. This invasion angle, predictably, when done right, is good. We all knew it was coming. We all knew it was coming last night. They made it obvious as ever that it was going to happen. Is exactly how it happened, and it was still fantastic. And like you said, that shot to end the show of Oba and Saints, a great way to do it. I love the idea of hell breaking loose between the two brands and it kind of being like brand warfare. You have Raw versus SmackDown. You have NXT versus TNA now. You kind of have this brand warfare. Joe Hendry, like you said, probably going to get beat down by the TNA guys, get some boos from the fans. How long until you have like a turncoat? Somebody that's an NXT guy, screws over his partner to join TNA and vice versa, whatever it may be. There's just so many storylines they can do there, endless storylines. I still want the continuation of, TNA versus NXT, people winning titles from other shows. I think TNA is about to get the upper hand here where Santana is going to win the championship. He has to win the championship. But I want to see these guys also and girls win the NXT championships as well. NXT had a couple good runs with Trick Williams holding the TNA title. JC Jane had the championship as well. I want to see somebody pick up North American Championship in TNA. I want somebody in TNA to be NXT champion too. I want to see them kind of do some real deal cross matches. We've all fucking said this. If you're a TNA fan and a WWE fan, you've been begging WWE to adopt the Ultimate X match. Throw it on an NXT show at some point. I just am looking forward to it all. The Invasion angle is great. Do they get a War Games match? Is it like NXT versus TNA? They just kind of last week made it look like we're getting main roster versus NXT. The main roster still has their own things going on. I don't know what the fuck's going to happen for War Games, but it is an interesting time to have an invasion angle. Is when you have some sort of War Games PLE coming up. It might not even take place at Survivor Series, but maybe they throw on an NXT event that weekend as well, and they get their own War Games. Who knows at this point?
I would love all of this being built up, goes on for months. TNA gets their titles back, but like you said, some TNA people will get NXT titles, NXT people get TNA titles, whatever. I would love for all of this to go on and a mix of some others, and it sets up WrestleMania weekend, Worlds Collide, and it is one big NXT, AAA, TNA event. Maybe you do it Thursday, maybe late Friday night after SmackDown, because you're on the West Coast anyway. Like I feel like that to me is like the mega payoff. And then at that point, I assume TNA is probably pretty close to that new TV deal that we're supposed to hear about at some point. Like that to me really pays this all off.
100%.
I would feel, slighted. They're doing these Worlds Collide events. If they didn't do one big one of AAA, NXT, and TNA, and it's just craziness, and it's WrestleMania weekend, it is the big event. Granted, you're probably still going to do your stand and deliver, so maybe it's not exactly Mania weekend. I don't know. Or maybe that's the show. Stand and Deliver is Saturday before Mania and Sunday before Mania is your Worlds Collide. You
Yeah,
know,
or
it's
maybe they just call it Stand and Deliver Worlds Collide. Who knows? You
yeah,
know? Yeah,
fucking there you
yeah,
go. Boom.
yeah.
I would love that. I feel like that would be like the proper payoff of it all. Because at that point, you're really kind of hammering home. And then also on top of it, you'd expect an Oba and Trick, whatever, like
JC Jane.
JCJ, they're probably getting called up around then. So
Yeah.
you can pay these things off and they can move on. Before we get out of here, NXT No Mercy is this Saturday. So real quick, I'll ask you. We got some of the matches. JC Jane defends against Lola Vice. Who do you got? I got JC Jane retaining.
Then they're going to give it to Lola Vice because I think Lola Vice has been used a lot in these crossover events, AAA and all that. So I
It's
think,
true.
well, and I'm going to be honest here. I'm not big on Lola Vice. Not big fan. I don't know if she really has it like that, but I think JC Jane is close to the call up and they're going to transition it to Lola.
Uh, we'll just hit a few others. Actually, we'll do the whole fucking card. Who gives a
Yeah,
fuck?
fuck
Sol
it. Why
Ruka
not?
versus Laney Reed. Sol Ruka.
So it's the Speed Championship, right?
Yeah,
Fucking Soul Ruka, whatever.
yeah. Javon Evans versus Josh Briggs. I kind of think Briggs might win.
I kind of think Briggs might win. I hope it's Javon, but I'm going to go Briggs.
Yeah, I'm going Briggs. Uh, Possibly the last match, Jordan Grace versus Blake Monroe, a weaponized steel cage match. I'm gonna go with Blake.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Blake. Some sort of screwy. It's in a case gets handcuffs out of a bag or something. I don't fucking know,
So
but I'm gonna go
maybe
Blake.
someone helps her and she's got a
Yeah, yeah,
lackey or something.
yeah.
I don't know. Ethan Page defends against Tavion Heights.
Paige.
I think Page,
I like Tavion a lot, and I wouldn't hate him winning it at all. But
yeah.
I like this North American run Paige has had, and I want to see it just go a little bit longer. Paige again, close to the call up, so you never know. But I'd like to see him ride it out for another month. I'd actually like to see him, not to shade Tavion because he'd be a great winner. I'd like to see him lose it to Dr. Wagner.
Interesting. And then finally, we have Obafemi versus Ricky Saints for the NXT Championship. It's interesting. I'm gonna pick Oba.
Hmm. Ova.
It's like I wish they could fucking lay cool the title because it's like I want Javon to be the one to take it off
I
Ova,
know,
but
I
I also
know.
want Ricky to be the one to take it off Ova, but I also want Ova to not lose the title and get the
It's
record. Like,
it's tough because I want Oba to get the record. Um, on paper, schedule wise, you think Oba might hold it till Stand and Deliver, lose it then. But they might get Oba up before then. Oba might not be on that Stand and Deliver card. Ricky Saints could be champion then. Javon could win it, but I don't know if Javon's done enough yet to like win the title. Yeah, I think Javon should be the guy to have a North American title run before he wins the big one. In my opinion, I'm going to Oba on this one. Wouldn't hate it if Ricky wins, but I want Oba to just hold it forever, really.
yeah, I mean, look, it's not impossible that Javon takes it off of Ricky at
Hmm.
that point. I mean, if it's Stand and Deliver, Ricky could be healed by then. Who knows?
Yeah,
So I don't know, but I am very excited for that Saturday night show. Is it on Peacock? Yes, it is on
yeah, yeah.
Peacock
It is
because I
on
loaded up
Peacock.
Peacock and I saw it. Thank God.
Yeah, I mean, well, you still got to have fucking Peacock. I don't even get to cancel that subscription. I got to spend
Yeah.
120 fucking dollars a month to watch WWE.
It
Bullshit.
just never fucking ends. You got anything else?
Um, don't be a coward. Subscribe.
Yes. And send your well wishes to Tommy Boy, who's got his feet kicked up and paws in the air as he suntans, pretending like he didn't just throw up all of his treats that he housed before.
I guess that's all we got for you. See us next time.
Yeah.